Hey everybody, it's SaskiaSketches and welcome back to the Ultimate Elemental Animal Challenge Part 8. First up is a river, and oh my goodness you guys, you don't know how much I enjoy this piece. River is so much fun to draw always, but this one was just, I absolutely adore the way that she came out. I had a little bit of trouble at first, especially with her face. I feel like I wasn't feeling too well when I was first starting to draw, so I had to start over. But after I did start over once, I think I managed to make something that looks fine. So after I finished her face, I just sketched the rest of her body, which I mean, I always love drawing lionesses because they're so ripped. They're so muscular. You're like, these animals are so strong, and you can just tell that they're built for just taking down large prey and just the hunting machines. Basically, you can tell just by looking at them. They're so gorgeous. Oh, so powerful. And then the colors I had a little bit of trouble with at first. Or maybe not necessarily trouble, I just didn't really like the color scheme that I came up with, or maybe not the color scheme, just the placement of the colors I wasn't too happy with when I started. And so I revised this a little bit later. But I basically, my first layer was just a bunch of airbrush strokes and just a gradient from like light to dark from the bottom to the top, whereas I normally do that. I just wasn't really too happy with the shading on it because I didn't really do any shading apart from this. And when I looked at her a little bit afterwards, I was like, hey, you know, I think I can do a little bit better. So I did, and I'm so in love with how this one looks, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer before I finish that, because a little bit of fur detail. And I also really love doing this type of detail because I feel like it really makes the piece come together, and it makes the animal just look more like they have fur, I guess. And here we go. This is my revision. Yeah, there we go. So what I did is I paid like really close attention to where the shadows are and where the muscles are on the on my reference image, and I just added with the airbrush, just shaded it. And gosh, I love how she looks. She looks so pretty. Oh, I'm so happy with this piece. Up next is Morpheus, and Morpheus is the fire ram. I think I forgot to record the sketching process, so we're right onto colouring, but that's okay. You've seen me sketch so many animals up until this point. I think you can kind of imagine how it went. Like I said in the previous video with Maya, I give my bighorn sheeps bighorn sheep. There's not an S. I give my bighorn sheep really big horns because bighorn sheep. I love the big horns and I love drawing the big horns, so I don't really care whether or not they actually grow that big in nature. I just kind of imagine how they would grow if they would continue to grow, if that makes any sense at all. So I always love drawing Morpheus with like really big and curly horns. He looks so pretty. And after I did the fire, I was still working on the fire. Oh, here I was on a call with a friend, just explaining a little bit, giving some feedback, but we're back to the drawing. And after I did the fire, I did some lighting. Like, I went really crazy on the lighting with this one because I feel like I just finished Ignis, the fire rat, and I was so happy with how that lighting came out, so I just wanted to do something like that as well. I struggled a little bit with what kind of colours I wanted to use for the rim lighting. I think I tried like a dark, a light yellow and a light, like a bright white, and some. I eventually settled on a really bright red, and I feel like that worked really well for the rim lighting and stuff. He looks really cool. I love how he looks. Up next is Lily. Lily is always really fun to draw as well. Like, she like in the last video with the end, I don't draw a lot of rhinos. So this is always, even though I love rhinos are so gorgeous, and I really love drawing them because it's always so fun. So like I said with in the last video, is that when I draw an animal that I'm not very familiar with, because I haven't drawn them a lot, I always look at a lot of references. I do that with any animal anyway, but a lot of references, and mainly study those references and their shapes, and just really try and figure out why those shapes are there and how those shapes work, and how the animal's built and that sort of stuff. And goodness, I am so in love with how she looks. She's so pretty. I enjoy this sketch so much. She looks so gorgeous. Had a little bit of trouble with the coloring again. Not a lot of trouble. I just wasn't really sure how to make her, like how to do the contrast well. And I've just discovered the luminosity / shine layer mode, which is like kind of almost the opposite of multiply. It just gives some really cool bright lighting, and I feel like I went a little bit overboard with it, but I like it anyway. It looks pretty. I did some shadows and some detail, and then it was onto her. I'm not sure what you would call this, maybe like a mane or something, where she just has a bunch of flowers on her neck and back, and she's so pretty. Normally I would draw just nearly every single flower, but I've gotten a little bit more efficient, so I'm just doing some flowery shapes, I guess. I'm just so in love with how she looks. She's so pretty. I love her. She's so gorgeous. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't too sure about the colors and stuff. That's the doorbell. Sorry if you heard that. But yeah, I feel like it worked out well in the end. I think she looks pretty, and I'm really happy with how she turned out. Oh yeah, little detail, little bit of stippling. I always love doing those. Up next is Caesar, and Caesar is the air sea lioness. She always messes up my, whenever I'm like whenever I'm counting how many lions I have, how many lion characters, she always pops up because I use the Control F to search for lion, and because she's a sea lion, that pops up. But she's not an actual lion, just a sea lion. But she's really fun. She's a fun character, and she's going to be relevant in season 3, I think, maybe season 2. I mean 4. I'm not entirely sure yet, but she's going to be so relevant. She's so pretty, and she's got such a wonderful part to play in the story, and I'm just so excited for that. That's going to be really fun. I had a lot of fun with her colours and stuff. I based them off of Estia, as I did with the other air elementals. I haven't actually shown Estia yet on the YouTube channel, apart from like the little cameo that he's made in every like air elemental, because I'm picking the colors from him. But yeah, whenever he comes up, I'll finally show you guys. But that's not yet. First, I'm finishing up Caesar, and I love how this one came out. Really awesome, very beautiful. And lastly, we have Light. And I hesitated again because I'm always like, which Light mouse is which, because they all have a little thing to set them apart. I think Lumi from the last video has a chunk missing from his ear, and Light misses a paw, or like a foot, I guess, just like one of his front feet is missing. That's how I tell them apart. I just haven't managed to really memorize which mouse is missing which body part. But it's cool, it's fine. He's really pretty, and the mice are always like, they're really simple and easy to draw, but they're really sweet. And I really enjoy drawing it. Up next, and the last one for today, is Acacias, and Acacias took like double the time of every single elemental on this list. Oh man, he's so worth it though. Acacias is so gorgeous. Man, I love jaguars and leopards. I love drawing them, but they take forever because of their spots. It always takes so long because I want to just make sure that they're accurate, right? Because if you can tell on the Jaguar is that depending on where the spot is located on the body, it will have a different shape, and so it always takes me a long time to to draw them, but it's always worth it because I love putting in all that detail because it looks so good. Whilst I was drawing him, I was listening to a very old adaptation of The Hobbit as a dramatized version of I think it was on the BBC radio. I don't remember what year it was from, but it's really old. I think it's on YouTube as well. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description. It's really, really nice and just fun to listen to. I think I listened to, I think at least 3/4 of the way throughout this entire drawing. That will give you an idea of how long it took. Oh my goodness, but he was so much fun. I am so in love with how he looks, even though it took so long. He's always worth it. Generally, I haven't drawn Acacias with his spots a lot. I think that's just because he's shadow. He's a black. He's completely black, and you can barely see the spots. So I tend not to draw them when I'm drawing him. But I wanted to draw all of his spots because they do shine through a little bit. And goodness, oh, he's so pretty. He's so pretty. Jaguars are so gorgeous. They're such gorgeous, 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 gorgeous animals. I just cannot fathom how beautiful these are. I love animals, okay? Big cats are so good. They're so beautiful. And the colouring compared to the sketching took a lot less time. I just did a little bit of airbrush and a little bit of detail, and what really brought it together is I was colouring in inside the spots a little bit, and that is just amazing. I love how that looks. It turned out so nicely. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more art videos every single Friday. Have a great weekend, guys, and keep on sketching. Bye!